This is Chiimera with the New Eden Newsroom. Today we are bringing you an update on the Skill Yourself Legacy DRF conflict, the Quiet War, and a brawl which broke out in Syndicate. First, an update on the Skill Yourself and Legacy DRF conflict. On January 31st, around 1745 Eve time, fighting broke out in the system of OP, TAC U0Q, in Tenerife between XIX and Skill Yourself over a jump bridge timer. XIX and Razor Alliance formed up in Ishtars, while Skill Yourself and Scourge formed up in Nightmares. The structure was successfully defended, with the fight lasting for about 57 minutes. Just over 37 billion ISK was lost in the fight. XIX and Razor lost 17.7 billion ISK in the defense of the jump bridge, while Skill and Scourge forces lost 19.6 billion in the attack effort. The two groups would clash again a few days later in the system of 4-6 DP TAC O in Tenerife, over a final timer of an XIX-owned Fortizar in the system. XIX and Razor formed in Ishtars, supported by Legacy, who were in Eagles and Jackdaws. Skill Yourself and Scourge formed a Nightmare fleet to contest the timer. The two fleets met and engaged on the T6 GY TAC Y gate in 4-6 DP TAC O. A bloody battle ensued with over 25 billion ISK lost. The defenders were able to successfully protect the Fortizar through its repair timer. However, they lost the ISK war for the battle, losing nearly 16 billion of the total 25 billion lost. Most recently, on February 7th, the groups clashed again in the system of Y TAC FZ5N over an anchoring Skill Yourself Reitaru in the system. XX formed in Ishtars, supported by Test in Munins, and Legacy in Eagles, totaling over 500 pilots strong. Skill Yourself and Scourge formed a Nightmare fleet, with 4 Minokawa Force Auxiliaries as support, on grid for just over 160 pilots. The fight proceeded to go on for about 70 minutes, with the Nightmares snagging a few Eagles and Munins. However, with XIX and Legacy's DPS fleets struggling to break the faxes, Dreadnoughts were brought in to burn the Logi ships down. The anchoring structure Arotaru was lost at around 1947 Eve, and after the dust had settled, over 43 billion ISK was destroyed. 33.8 billion of this was lost by the defenders. Now to the Quiet War. The region of Ethereum Reach has evolved into a melting pot of entities clashing in numerous engagements in the region, notably with the arrival of a test SIG in LXQ2, coupled with a SIG from Tactical Supremacy in the region as well. Laserhawks, in an effort to gain more SOV in the region, launched an offensive for control of the SLYP TAC-5 constellation. This offensive action was met with little resistance, with Laserhawks taking over most of the SOV in the constellation. That being said, Prothean Alliance and No Value have not simply bent the knee in spite of all this pressure from these varying entities. On the 3rd of February, in the system of L TAC ZJ LN, the groups clashed against the Tickle Nightmare fleet with a Goonswarm Jackdaw support fleet over a Fortizar reinforcement timer. Prothean and No Value chose to defend with a Typhoon fleet and escalated further, dropping a Titan on the grid. Coupled with intel coming in of a 50-man Horde Ferox fleet, the attackers decided to withdraw, allowing the Fortizar to repair. A total of 8 billion ISK was lost in the fight, 7 billion ISK of which was lost in the attackers' efforts. In a corresponding move, the Prothean Alliance continued to manipulate SOV timers, setting them to the Russian time zone to account for the new Aussie presence in the region. Finally, on the 4th of February, a logistics Fortizar, owned by Half Emotional in the system of LXQ2, was destroyed by Imperium forces. This Fortizar served as a major logistics hub for Brothers of Tangra and Prothean Alliance for moving goods in and out of the region. Therefore, its destruction proves to be a logistical blow to both the Prothean Alliance as well as Brothers of Tangra renters. New Eden Report will keep you informed as the situation continues to unfold in Ethereum Reach. In Syndicate news, on the 3rd of February, a fight broke out in the system of Y9G TAC-KS between Imperium-backed forces and intergalactic space hobos, who were being supported by Snuffed Out over an anchoring Fortizar in the system. Intergalactic space hobos sought to destroy the Fortizar to prevent it from being used as a forward operating base in range of its own staging system. The attackers used combat carriers as well as dreadnoughts to successfully push off the defenders, successfully killing the Fortizar at 0402 Eve time. The fight lasted about 67 minutes, with over 164 billion ISK total lost. Of that total, the defenders lost nearly 130 billion ISK. A full-depth analysis of this battle was written by New Eden Report's Sullivan Harden and can be read at newedenreport.com. In local news, between February 5th and 6th, Test Alliance Please Ignore lost 3 Fortizars, all in the system of Oiginen. Losing the Fortizars comes as little surprise, given Test's withdrawal from the region. One of the Fortizars lost was a Dracuous faction Fortizar, valued at approximately 36 billion ISK. The total value for all 3 Fortizars was around 63 billion ISK. In Amamaki, on January 31st, fighting broke out over a Fortizar final timer owned by Did He Say Jump. A first-person account on Reddit describes the situation quite nicely, including the events leading up to and during the battle. The report is quite a good read, and I recommend if you have not heard about this battle yet, go ahead and take a look. Pandemic Horde and Northern Coalition entered into local and, seeing the situation, elected to help the defenders push off the attackers. A total of approximately 13 billion ISK was lost in the battle. 8.69 billion ISK of that was lost in the attempt to destroy the Fortizar by the attackers. Now, with the local news out of the way, it's time for the Fwedit featured kill. Fwedit is New Eden's premier space poultry corporation. Join the chicken family for blopsing, small gang PvP, cap drops, and more. Bok bok. On February 4th, in the system of UPT Incarnate, Trimalchio Caniculus lost a 75 billion ISK arc to Loseshnia Shalupin. Inside the arc was over 70 excavator mining drones, totaling over 54,000 cubic meters, as well as some plastic wraps, meaning the true value of the lost mail could well exceed that value. LSH dropped a couple of Ragnaroks, as well as some supers and a dreadnought to finish the jump freighter off. In Alliance movement news, Triumvirate has lost 2 corporations in the past couple of weeks. Capital Fusion and United Warriors both left the Alliance and joined Pandemic Horde shortly thereafter. The Alliance has lost 4 corporations in the span of a month, and New Eden Report will keep you informed of any other major corp or Alliance movements as they unfold. In CCP news, an article posted on February 1st by CCP Falcon shed some light on some of the first skins that would be coming over to the Tranquility server from Serenity. This is something they had mentioned would happen during Eve Vegas. A new launcher was released on February 7th, where players will get to experience the new layout and design for the launcher, and are welcome to offer their feedback on it on the EVE Online forums. Another article was posted on the same day by CCP Falcon, which gives a quick update to the overview changes that would be associated with Sinusoidal fields. EVE World Tour tickets for the Sydney event are now on sale. Be sure to pick up your tickets as they're selling fast, and don't forget to check the website to see when tickets go on sale for the EVE World Tour location of your choice. If you're going, let New Eden Report know, and we hope to see you there. This is the New Eden Report. Thanks for tuning in.